This is my first live. This is the first time I've ever tried to go live with YouTube. So, really, I'm just saying hi. And if anybody's out there up for any questions, Q&A. But for the most part, I was just letting you guys know that I'm going to plan on doing a live here in the near future. So, if you guys are interested in doing a live Q&A with me, just put a comment on this, letting me know some of the questions you might ask, or just if you think it's a cool idea to do some kind of Q&A stuff. So it looks like I got someone out there watching, but I don't see any comments. But I also don't know exactly how I would read any comments if someone were to be leaving them right now. Because like I said, this is my first time going live. So, but look at this poster, man. I love these posters. I don't know if you guys have been able to really check these posters out yet, but like this one in the middle, my Friday the 13th poster. It's a 40-year limited edition. See, 40-year. But I got that for my birthday a few weeks ago. Oh, look, I see a few of you guys. What's up, Sean? Leanne. I'm sorry, Andomalis? Sorry, I'm not the greatest at pronouncing names. Oh, Everything Fear. What up, brother? If you guys haven't checked out Everything Fear, go over there and check out that channel. He's doing some just awesome stuff. He's the horror fucking professor. I'm telling you guys. So, since I got a few of you guys here, you guys want to do a quick Q&A? Does anybody have any questions for me? Like the size of, 2 inches, whatever. No, any kind of fucking Q&A. Like I'm down for whatever. So I'm just really sitting here, finishing editing some stuff. And I figured since I had never gone live since I hit my 1,000, I figured, fuck it, I'm going to give it a shot. And yeah, so much to everybody too, because that hitting 1,000 was this huge goal for me this year. And to hit it over a week before the first was just extremely exciting. And after this brutal year, it just felt amazing. So, any questions? I see you guys are out there. You're leaving me hanging in the breeze. See? I'm like blowing around. This is pretty cool though. I'm wondering if there's kind of a delay. It does seem like there's a delay. What is that? Love that fog poster. I know, me too. My partner, she picked it out because we were looking at all three of these. There's this really amazing place to get horror posters in Carson City, or I think it's Carson City. But anyway, it's this old, like old West town outside of Reno. But there's this little shop. It's got a shitload of posters, like everything you can imagine. And they're really good quality too. So it's where I've been kind of picking out my posters for the set. Hey, what's up, Louise? I think I pronounced that name right. What was that, Sean? Let's see. How was your holiday with the family? It was good. It was really just three of us. Because of COVID in California, we're just locked the fuck down. So we just kept it really, really small. And we just really just had a really relaxing day, ate some food, kicking back. It was nice. So who's got some questions for me? Since I got some of you here, I'm surprised I didn't even expect anyone to actually tune in. Big fan, watching you since the last 2 seconds. All right, thanks, Furious Fragment. I'm excited to have a fan. I don't care if you've been around for 2 months or 2 seconds. I love that. I don't really think of it as like fans. To me, it's just we're like this club, this family, like, the Ghost Pirate Entertainment Club. Like that's what I'm trying to build is a community. All right, awesome. How long have I been doing this? Well, I kind of started messing around with it in the spring, so around May. I think I posted my first horror related because this channel was just for my artwork, my original artwork, which I've been doing for about 10 years. Let's see if I have any. I don't know if I even have any of my art here, but oh yeah, I do. I'm grabbing a painting. Ah! See, it's upside down. That's a painting I did, an old painting, but still, nonetheless, one of my paintings. Um, but I've been doing that for a long time, so I've just posted up on this channel, just showing my artwork. And then when COVID locked it down and all my art shows and everything got just smashed this year, I was like, okay, what can I fucking do when I'm just sitting here? And I was like, the other thing I've always been extremely passionate about besides art, and in some ways I'm actually more passionate about it, and that's horror. Like I'm extremely passionate about it. I just love everything about it. I love the fun and the joy of it, and that's really what I'm trying to do with this channel. Is some people take horror so serious, and I'm like, man, that's awesome, that's great, but to me, it's about the fun of it. The joy I had as a kid in the 80s or 90s or whatever, watching those 80s, 90s kind of cheesy, campy, fun horror. That's that's just what it's about to me. And so I wanted to make a channel that's kind of like focusing on that. And so, like I said, probably about May or June is when I first started posting videos along these lines, but it really wasn't until mid to late summer when I started kind of getting the hang of it and figuring out what I wanted to do with this channel. Let's see. Sean, I dig it. Nice. Very cool. You have a art page on Facebook? Nice. Very cool. Yeah. It's all on my Instagram. Kainan Becker, Kainan Becker, Becker. If you go to Kainan Becker, like it's one word or whatever on Instagram. I'm actually everywhere. If you just type me in on Google, you see a bunch of my artwork too. Like I had a decent art following, but I'm just not feeling that world anymore, and I'm just really feeling this. So this is really what I'm just throwing all myself into. And I totally knocked down my shelf with all my lighting and hats. Look at that. See, I just knocked it down. And now there's like a big mess of art and everything over there. You got any other questions? Does anybody have any questions about my set? If you can see it, let me turn some light over here. Man, this camera on my laptop sucks. It's definitely not as good as what I usually use. Oh, check this out. So I just found this yesterday at Target. So you guys probably can get this too, but look at this. It looks like an old Blockbuster plastic case, but it's a game. Look at that. It's a board game. How cool is this? Look at that. You open it up and it looks like there's a VHS in there, but then you pull that up and it's like, well, no, that's not it. It's a game. And look at this. My sister Leah or slash Arvada, she's an author, actually, an amazing author. But anyway, we love board games. Look at this. Look how cool this is. It's even got some stickers in it. And it's like $13 at Target. I don't know, man. I get excited about those little things, I guess. Life's too short, right? Life is way too short to just be depressed and bummed out all the time. So you got to try to find the fun in things. Ooh, Blockbuster Jigsaw? That's puzzles. That is really cool. My favorite horror movie is Phantasm. What are your guys's? like the 6 or 7 of you guys I have here, what are your guys' favorites? Dude, my beard has been doing the craziest thing. I just shot this whole video the other day, which you'll see on tomorrow. It'll post up. It's my end of the year video. But my beard is doing this crazy thing. Like the whole thing. I didn't even know it until it was done. Like the whole thing was like this, like somehow. Like even like worse than I can even do. It's just like doing this like thing like this. And I didn't even know until after the video was over. I was like, what the hell? But I was like, fuck that. I'm not reshooting it. Not for vanity. It's not worth it. Halloween. Yeah, love Halloween so much. The original, right? I mean, I guess. I mean, there's the newer one that's called Halloween and then Rob Zombies, but I'm assuming you're meaning the original. Nightmare on Elm Street. Hell yeah. Those are my favorites too. Like it's so hard to pick one. I think Phantasm is just my favorite because it's so different. And a lot of it is, you know how it is when you're growing up, what everybody says, you kind of want to be different and unique. And so for me, Phantasm was this movie that nobody mentioned that had this tall man who's amazing and just this weirdness about it that just was not like any other horror movie. And so I was like, you know, I just love saying Phantasm, and I just have done like a deep dive into it. Like I did a whole series review, which is the only series review I've done. I do plan to do some other ones, but I did every one of the Phantasms, and I don't know, that series is just so much fun. I love Halloween. Like I love Halloween so much. Michael Myers. No, it's not windy. I'm inside. The other day when I shot the video, I brushed my beard, and for whatever reason, I didn't look in the mirror before I started shooting. Didn't notice while I was shooting. So I watched the video back, and literally my beard was like sideways. I don't even know how I did it. I don't think I could do it again, even if I tried. What? Hellraiser is totally horror. Are you kidding me? I mean, it may be a genre, a subgenre of horror, like gore horror or whatever horror, but I mean, to me, Hellraiser is like the epitome of horror. Like when you think of horror, like it's just horrifying because the name horror is derived from horrifying, you know, horrified. And I think most people get very horrified by Hellraiser. I'm not saying it's my favorite or not. I'm just saying I definitely think it's horror. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't think Phantasm. Honestly, it's so hard for me to tell you what a scary movie is because like I've watched tens of thousands in my life of horror movies, more than likely. I mean, I've watched so many I forget a lot of them. I have to rewatch them, but I can't tell you anything that really scares me. Like there's elements that are definitely horrifying about a lot of different movies. I mean, like I just rewatched Color Out of Space, and that has some really horrifying moments, but I don't know of anything that really scares me. Oh God, I love her Event Horizon. I love that movie so much. Old Head Mike knows. What's up, guys? Go check out Old Head Mike. He's got two different channels that you guys should check out. He's got one on metal, which is the other love of my life because I was in a metal band forever. He's got a metal channel where he talks about a lot of different metal music videos and bands and whatnot, and then another channel on horror, which he does a lot of really cool stuff on VHS. Everything Fear. Meet Old Head Mike. He's the other channel that I do collabs with and stuff. You guys should talk. You guys could do collabs too, or at the very least talk to each other. You guys are both really cool. Kindred horror spirits. I've actually got a screen used pin from Hellraiser 3. That's so sick. You know, I really need more autograph things and screen use things. Like, that's one of the things I want to do as this channel gets bigger is start getting some more legit stuff. Like right now, I mean, I have your run-of-the-mill horror stuff. Like I couldn't collect for years and years being married and just busy and, you know, not a lot of money, whatever. I've had to get rid of a lot of cool stuff I've had through the years. But that's what I would like to do eventually is start to, like, I want to recycle stuff. I don't want to collect just tons of shit and keep it all. My goal would be to get cool things, display them for a couple months, and do some kind of giveaway where I give them back to you guys in some way or another. And so, I mean, that's my goal. Like as this channel gets bigger, is to do cool things like that. So I'm always displaying these cool things, but then ultimately giving them away. Have you watched Funny Games? Oh, I believe so. That's that. It's like it's not British. From like Iceland or something like that. It's the two brothers, right? Isn't is that what Funny Games is, or am I thinking of something else? Oh, hey Wendy, that's my cousin right there. Well, you could tell she said hi, cuz. But she's a big horror fan too. She lives down in San Diego, which is south from where I live. Like California is like this. She's down in the bottom of it. I'm toward the upper middle. Have I missed? Let's see if I've missed any questions. Yeah, Phantasm the guy was creepy. Tall man. I love him. Love him so much. Yeah, I know. There is the American version. I don't think I've seen that one. I think I've only seen the original. That's like a foreign language one, which I've talked about before. But I just have so much issue with subtitles. Like I try my best, but my eyesight's not that great, and just I don't know. I also have really bad dyslexia, so trying to read that quick, man, it just gets rough. But like I'm able to do some. Like I just did Sputnik recently, and God, that movie is so fucking good. Like if you guys have not seen Sputnik, but I don't want to give away. I like I said tomorrow, my video of my top 10. I mean, it really ends up being my top 13, but 10 in particular that are my favorites from this year. But I actually had quite a few horror movies this year that I really enjoyed. So, like I said, that'll drop at 9 a.m. tomorrow if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, that's what I heard. So yeah, I do need to check that out. Funny Games, right? Is the American version called Funny Games as well? Yeah, I had so much fun with Sputnik, Sean. Such a cool movie. Like I said, if you guys have not watched Sputnik yet, I really recommend it. There's something about it. I think it's because it's Russian. There's just this weird, different culture feel about it as well. Just the way that they communicate to each other, the way they see things. There's I don't want to say cold blooded per se, but just a different way that their military and the people see their military. And I don't know, there's just this different way, but it also ended up just being so heart wrenching too towards the end. Like and the alien in it, oh man, he looks so dope. It's just such a unique, weird design. Cool movie. We're talking, Wendy, we're talking about what are some of our favorite horror movies. So what is your favorite horror movie? Yeah, Sputnik. It's a movie that came out this year. It's Russian, so it's subtitles, but it is so good. I think. See, I know I just watched it. I think it's on HBO. Let me check. It might be on Hulu. Like it might be directly on Hulu. Ugh, my phone's loading slow. Someone can beat me to the punch. Sputnik. Yeah, it's just straight up on Hulu. See, I guess it's backwards for you guys, but is that backwards for you guys? I don't know. Anyway, um, Sputnik is so cool. Just so well done too. Yeah, it is. It's directly on Hulu. I mean, I have the HBO add-on and Showtime add-on, but it says it's just on Hulu. Yeah, I agree, Sean. It does remind me a lot of the one from Prometheus, but I still feel like it's different. It's got its own uniqueness to it, and I really like how it evolves. Like it doesn't evolve in this crazy, like super fast way where it becomes this crazy monster that starts out like a little tadpole. It's just a real slow progression. I really like how it does that, and just the whole way. I don't want to give it away for those of you that haven't seen it, but just everything about it and how it interacts with the people around it and stuff. It reminded me of the Arrival, especially before when she's looking at it through the glass. It reminded me a lot of the Arrival. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think that's what it's called. Pretty sure it's called The Arrival. It's another alien movie from a couple years ago that was so good. I think I'm going to start doing more that are sci-fi-ish horror, you know, where they're not just straight up horror and they're not, yeah, Arrival. It's just Arrival. Because there's the Arrival with Charlie Sheen, but I'm talking about the movie from 2016 called Arrival. Can you guys see that on my phone? Meh, I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, yeah, it's just called Arrival, and that movie is so cool too. Hello, Ashlyn. Do you have any questions for me? We're also just sharing what our favorite horror movies are. Yeah, the one with Amy Smart. Exactly. Love that movie. Just like it's horror, sorta, mostly sci-fi, but just very gripping, and I felt like it was really unique in a lot of ways. What's up, Jet? The only movie that I can really think of that ever actually scared me was probably because it was really one of the first horror movies I ever saw, and it was when I was a teenager, and it was I was by myself, and I watched Pet Cemetery, the original one, by myself at my aunt's house at night, you know, alone in a room. And I mean, I had seen a few kind of scary movies before that. Like I went and seen Jurassic Park, and you know, I even think I saw the TV miniseries It, but it was just different seeing it by myself, you know. And Pet Cemetery is not very scary, but just the situation I was in. But I've just never really been scared by movies. I look at horror movies kind of different than a lot of people. I look at the the artistry behind it. So I don't know. It doesn't grip me in the same way, but I can appreciate it and love it and enjoy it for that. Like I said, I just was rewatching Color Out of Space, and just that's my kind of horror movie because it's just beautiful, man. Like the all the color and it's just so gorgeous. I wish I could get this thing situated right so you could see me more how you do on my videos. All right, so I forgot about the Arrival of Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I love that one too. It's campy, crappy fun, man. That the one with Charlie Sheen. It's not a great movie, but I love it. It is very fun, and the aliens are pretty cool in that one too. Yeah, I love Jason. I mean, how could you not love Jason? Have you, Ashlyn? Have you watched any of the fan films? Like most recently, "Don't Hike in the Snow" or "Never Hike in the Snow" and "Never Hike Alone." Those two fan films are amazing. I did a video a while back talking about those fan films, but they're not even really fan films anymore. They're just so well done that they're like legit Friday the 13th movies. Yeah, I don't get scared by movies, but like movies do disturb me. So like what Wendy said, Last House on the Left, like one of the movies that really kind of disturbed me was Hills Have Eyes, the remake. Like it just very much bothered me. Same with like Hostel. It just those kind of movies like gore porn stuff will kind of bother me, but it doesn't scare me. It just disturbs me. Or some movies will like gross me out some, but I'm pretty desensitized to pretty much all of that at this point. I've seen just about every kind of thing on film. All right, I'm starting to miss some of these comments. Where are the legs go backwards? Yeah, exactly, Wendy. The legs are backwards on the aliens. I think that's pretty cool in that movie. I mean, it's very old school CGI crappiness, but I still like it. Yeah, Dark Sky. Lost tongue tied. Yeah, what Mike said. Dark Skies. That was a fucking cool ass movie too. My first horror in theaters was Return of the Living Dead. Oh, that's cool. In theaters? That's awesome. That would be a great first horror movie. Like I love Return of the Living Dead so much. Oh, I love Fire in the Sky. Fire in the Sky is badass. I saw that when I was really young. And that did creep me out a little bit. I got that one. It didn't scare me, but it definitely creeped me out. Yeah, The Exorcist never scared me. I don't know what it is. Ever since I first saw it, I mean, I love them. I actually like Exorcist 3 the most. I know that's probably sacrilegious, but I love Exorcist 3. Like to me, it's one of the greatest films that no one seems, or not no one, because it's starting to build some following, but not enough people talk about it. Love Saw. Yeah, Exorcist just never scared me. I don't know what it was, but it just, I love them. All of them. Well, not the second one. The second one's shit. Nice. Sean, that's how most of us saw scary movies growing up. Yeah, and she is a super hot naked lady too, so that's a solid first naked lady to see as well. Like she's just this wild naked punk chick. And that's awesome, Ashlyn. Freaked out. Oh man, you had a youth pastor there too? That's crazy. That's awesome. Uncle Darren, especially when he was young, like he's, chilled out now, but when he was younger, like when I was a kid, man, he was a feisty one, so to speak. He definitely fucked with us all growing up. I wish I could go down there and visit you guys. Hopefully this year I'll be able to travel some more. Maybe. If money and time and COVID chill the fuck out. Well, this has been pleasantly surprising. I did not expect this many of you guys to tune in. So I'm very stoked that you guys are hanging out with me. Yeah, he definitely was an asshole. He wasn't little, but he definitely was an asshole. I just want movie theaters to open back up. I'm thinking about going to the drive-ins and getting that. I go to the drive-ins all the time, but I don't know why the drive-ins are being really stupid and they stopped playing pretty much any horror movies at all. So it's very limited. Like the only sort of horror movie that's at the drive-ins near me now is Monster Hunters. And if you saw my review of it, I'm not a big fan. Like I was more pissed off than anything. And the truth is, it's not like it's a horrible film. And I rewatched my review, and it does sound like I'm saying it's a horrible film, but it's not that it's horrible. It's just that it goes to that same pet peeve of mine that so many of these Hollywood production companies and producers or whatever that they're putting all the money into now, and it's just there's no story. It's just big boom, lots of CGI, and that's it. And it's like I want a film, man. I want horror and action movies and whatever to be more than just explosions and CGI again. Like in the 80s and 90s, and honestly, up until just really recently, you would have all those things, but you'd still have acting and you'd still have, these cool twists and things that were worth watching, not just explosions and CGI. What's up, Jay? You work at a theater, so Ashton, are you guys open or are you guys closed? Yeah, Crudes 2 and Monster Hunters. Come Plays there, which was an all right movie. I did a review on that too. I'm thinking about going to see Pinocchio. I said that funny. Pinocchio. Have any of you seen this new version of Pinocchio? Like it looks super creepy. Like kind of depressing maybe, but it does look creepy. So I'm like contemplating going to see that because there's nothing else that looks like Freaky's still out, but I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. And then Tenet, which makes me want to shoot myself at this point. I can't believe Tenet is still in theaters. Like it's so stupid. Never heard of what? Old Mike, what have you never heard of? I missed something. Just saying, hey, communion with Christopher Walken. Did you see Communion? Communion. Communion. I know I've seen that, but I can't remember what movie that is. Man, your theaters are open. I guess California is one of the worst states right now. Yeah, I enjoyed Freaky, Wendy. I liked it a lot. I've seen it at least I think 3 times, maybe 4 times. I don't know. I've seen it quite a few times. Oh, you haven't heard of it? Yeah, I just saw it recently. The little thing popped up. I hadn't even heard it was going to be out or anything about it, but I watched the trailer and it looks pretty cool. It looks creepy. Yeah, the first time I watched Tenet, I haven't seen anything new and anything in theaters in months. So I enjoyed it. I had a pretty good time, but then it wasn't like this amazing movie or anything, but it was all right. But then I watched it again and I was like, holy fuck, dude, this movie is boring. Like, I think the main reason I liked it is because I hadn't seen anything in theaters. And so just seeing something new, I've had that happen to me on a few movies this year. And then when I rewatch them or even just think back about them, I'm like, yeah, it wasn't really that great. Or it was just okay. But I loved it at the time because it was just getting to go to see a movie, something I hadn't done. Yeah, Come Play is still playing at our drive-ins, but like at midnight. And it was okay. It's a Netflix movie, like it'll be a pretty cool movie on streaming. Like it's cool. It's just not like a lot of the movies this year were just okay. They're just nothing like amazing, but they're just okay. But when I actually started making my list of my top 10 of the year, I actually started realizing, there's actually been some pretty badass movies this year. Because it's like, this year feels like it's gone on forever. But early in the year, we actually had a couple that were pretty awesome. And um and just throughout the year, there's been a couple hidden gem movies that I've discovered too that I just really, really liked. But I can't tell you guys. I want to tell you guys, but tomorrow my video will drop and you can watch it and see. Plus I talk more about them and explain them a little more organized. But I'm really curious how many of my top 10 you guys agree with, or how many of them have you seen? Like maybe there's some you guys haven't even seen. That's what I always hope for. I always hope that some of you guys, at least, I'm giving you a few new options. Yeah, I'm really nervous about Candyman. I've heard some really negative things coming down the pipeline about Candyman, and part of why they decided to not put it out this year. And there's talks that they're reshooting a bunch of it, and I don't know, just some negative stuff like that. That it's tested really, really bad when it's gone in front of test screenings. But you never know. Sometimes it doesn't do well because the people aren't familiar with horror. They're not, because like when they do this test screening, it's ridiculous. Like they'll have everything from like an 80-year-old man to like a 16-year-old kid, so to speak, and everything in between. People that are not into horror or whatever. So it's hard to say. Sometimes people don't get movies because of that, but sometimes people are like, "Dude, I loved Candyman, and this is no Candyman." So I don't know. We'll see. Talking about theaters, when I was a teenager, there was a midnight showing. Oh shit, Faces of Death. I remember like all of us would sneak these like copied VHS tapes of Faces of Death. It'd be like someone copied it from the Blockbuster video, right? And they would make a copy, and then they would make a copy of that and a copy of that. So by the time you got a copy, it was like a 50th copy. So it was all super grainy, fuzzy. And we would just try to see it. But it was like, oh, so bloody, so scary. Yeah, Faces of Death were brutal back in the day. When we thought it was real, that's when it was really horrifying. But now that you know that pretty much all of that, I think there's a few, or in at least the early versions, there might have been some real deaths, but I think a lot of it has come out as staged and fake. But even if it was real, we see shit on the news now. Like if you have Facebook, I mean, a lot of people watch that dude kill himself, or the guy gets shot by the police and died on Facebook Live. I mean, there's just been all kinds of crazy beheadings, like all kinds of fucked up shit that we all kind of come across all the time. Oh, Dude, I love the fog so much. I don't understand why the fog gets so much hate. You know, I gotta say that the remake though was one of the worst remakes ever done, in my opinion. It doesn't have any of the things that made the fog so good, like the pacing, the lighting, the atmosphere. It doesn't have any of the stuff that I love so much about the original in that remake. Although I do still own it because I own like a shitload of everything, but it just was not very good. But I love the original Jamie Lee Curtis one. That one, love that one so much. It's in my pantheon. Like it's so hard for me to make like my favorite horror movies of all time because there's just literally so many that I love for so many different reasons. Let's see. I missed something. Oh yeah, definitely. It was. Back in the day, it was scary as fuck. Because one, we thought it was all real and we hadn't seen a lot of stuff. Like facing death, even through the fuzzy shit that I would watch that on these, VHS copies, it would scare the shit out of me. Yeah, The Fog is one of those movies that I literally watch every year. Like I watch Halloween every single Halloween. I won't watch it at all every year until Halloween. I like literally will not let myself watch it till Halloween. Same with Halloween 3, same with Trick or Treat. But those are movies I literally watch every year. Like a lot of the movies I watched this year for my Horrorween were actually the movies that I watch almost every year. Most of the ones I did actually, I watch every single year. There was a few um, like Bride of Frankenstein. I don't watch that every year, but a lot of the ones I did, I literally watch every year. But The Fog is one of those. Like I have to watch it at least once every year. Salem's Lot is another one of those that I have to watch every year, if not more than once a year. Like I love Salem's Lot, man. There's just that movie. I used to go to sleep to it. I'd watch it and fall asleep to it like all the time. Like I just love that movie. Oh, nice. A Sam tattoo. That's dope. Speaking of Sam, I just got this mug for Christmas. I love this mug. Man, you guys should go over to Old Head Mike's channel and check out his VHS collection. It's just gorgeous. Like if you love old VHS horror, so sick. Like, it's like looking at a museum, man. I got so excited. I really liked Halloween. I actually saw it like 4 or 5 times this Halloween because it was at the drive-ins, and it would be paired with other movies like the latest Evil Dead and a bunch of other stuff. So I was just fucking, I'm already there, so I'd watch it again and again and again. And I actually did do a review if you look back, but I really liked it. It definitely has its issues. Like I hate the new Loomis dude. I forget his name. I absolutely hate him, and the whole idea that he releases Michael. Like I thought that was hokey as fuck and just stupid. And the very end, I thought got kind of clunky and just didn't end all that great. But I understand that they were really, this is just chapter 1 of 3. So in a lot of ways, it's hard to judge the first one to me because it's going to be part of this bigger story of 3 movies, which is not what's been done with Halloweens in the past. Like each Halloween is kind of its own thing, and then the next one will be kind of its own thing, and so on. But in this, it's more of like a 3-part movie, kind of like what we saw with it is what they're trying to do with it. So it's hard to judge it harshly, but I mean, in reality, I just had fun with it. I honestly tried to not pick it apart too much. There's a lot I enjoyed about it, but it definitely had some things that I wasn't a huge fan of, but I enjoyed it. I still think Halloween 2 is still the better sequel to the original Halloween, though. I mean, I do understand what they're doing, and the only way you could make this 3 thing they're doing is by making this a sequel. And I understand, too, that John Carpenter wasn't ever a fan of Halloween 2, but I love Halloween 2. There's just so much about it that I love. I love that it literally is just like a continuation of the first movie. So, I don't know. To me, I try not to compare them, though, honestly. I try to just watch them as their own separate universes. Same with Rob Zombie's. Like, I love Rob Zombie's first Halloween. The second one was pretty shitty, but I love his first one. But they're just different universes for me. Same with Halloween 3. You know, it doesn't have to have anything to do with Michael Myers because it's its own universe, its own thing, and I love it. Hell? What? Oh. I was with you on here. Yeah, that is right. That's the one I did a review of it on, was the drive-in one. I think I've talked about it a couple times because on Halloween itself this year, I dropped a video, my Horrorween last episode, and I talked about the original Halloween and the remake, I believe. Like I kind of did a comparison of the two, I think. Brain Scan is cool. I really like Brain Scan. And Ghost in the Machine. I know I've seen that, but I can't remember what that is. You can say that about a lot of artists. Like even me, I have a hard time watching these videos. I mean, I edit them, so I have to watch them. But then once they're edited and posted, I don't like to really go rewatch them. I mean, I do some because you can learn from it, but yeah, I love Halloween 3 so much. Just so many things about it. I just, it has all the right stuff, like the cheesy fun, the creepy moments, the cool mask, the cool creatures, the cool bad guy, the just love Halloween 3. Yeah, I don't hate on Rob Zombie. Like the second movie had its issues, but I liked elements of it, and there was definitely some stuff I thought was really cool in it. I just overall didn't think Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, was that great. It just didn't feel like a Halloween movie, but I love his first one. I love how brutal it is and takes that Halloween Michael Myers story, but does its own thing, completely original and unique with it. And I love that. I love Rob Zombie, man. I even have a Rob Zombie shirt. Like, he gets way too much hate these days. Cut? No. It's just called Cut. C-U-T? Uh-uh. Oh, love Lawnmower Man. It's like super old school CGI, like one of the first movies that used CGI, and it's just awful in this the most fun way. Lawnmower Man is a really cool movie, like a very cool retro movie. Read the story of what? Are you talking about Ghost in the Machine? Yeah, I love House of a Thousand Corpses. Absolutely love Devil's Rejects. It's honestly one of the greatest horror movies ever done. Not a huge fans of Lords of Salem. There was things about it I really liked, but for the most part, Lords of Salem was too slow to me. It just bogged down and got just I don't know, it just got slow and it just bored me too much. Ha! Tinsley's like, I love Lords of Salem. I need to I need to rewatch that now because I respect the hell out of your taste in horror. And if you dig it, maybe I should rewatch it. I just remember when I saw it, and I only saw it once, that it just bored me. It just felt really, really slow and just I don't know, I couldn't get into it. Stephen King is Ghost in the Machine. Like, well, I don't know why I can't remember what Ghost in the Machine is then. Like, I know I've seen that. I love Suspiria. See, I didn't get that, so I definitely do need to rewatch it. I mean, it's been a long time because I saw it in theaters when it first came out. So I don't know, that was like over 5 years ago, I think, when Lords of Salem came out. So I do need to rewatch that. I love Suspiria though. Suspiria is one of the most beautiful horror movies ever made. I love just the vibrant. I love the music in that movie. Just so much about Suspiria I love. That is just such a cool movie, man. I love the scene in the beginning when it's pouring rain and that fucking badass music's playing and she's walking up to the door and it just love that movie. Super sick. It's considered horror, Luis, because there's so many different things that horrify people. And that's why too many people, I think, argue about what's horror and what's not. And the problem is it's subjective. You know, to me, horror is whatever someone thinks is horror. It's whatever horrifies you. So it can be super, super broad, like alien sci-fi type of stuff can horrify a lot of people. Like to me, I love love the Alien movies so much. But to me, they're very much sci-fi, and I've never really thought of them as horror for me. But I don't argue that they're horror with people because I'm like, if it is horror to you and that horrifies you, nice, that's cool. Then, you know, so be it. Like in Spit on Your Grave and a lot of those rape revenge movies, they're all considered horror, and it's because it horrifies a lot of people. But you know, they don't all feel like horror to all of us. It's just whatever horrifies you. I didn't know Lawnmower Man Stephen King. Holy shit. I never realized that. I've never read the book. I didn't even know it was Stephen King. Yeah, Goblin. That's right. I love Goblin, man. I was trying to think of the name of the band. Yeah, I agree with that. Everything Fear. That's what I always say too. Like to me, the original Alien is a slasher. It's like a alien slasher movie. It's literally just this monster slasher type of thing. And then the second one gets to be a lot more sci-fi. But just in general, those movies, just as a whole, I'm talking about, I wouldn't necessarily consider them horror. I consider them much more sci-fi. But most people consider, or at least a lot of people consider those to be horror movies. Like you ever see horror list, you always see the Alien movies, not just Alien. You see a lot of them. Dude, that's crazy. I wish I read more. I need to read that. Oh, that's why I didn't know it was Stephen King because he had his name removed. That makes sense. Oh, that's sick. I could definitely see having that on while I was doing a painting or in your case, writing. I need to read some of your books, dude. Wish you wasn't so far away so I could easily get a copy of one of your books. Honestly, you need to have some audiobooks because I have trouble reading, but I love audiobooks. Like I'm working on an audiobook right now of oh man, what is it? Of Phantoms. Because I had a lot of people when I did the film review of Phantoms, and I love that movie so much, but I had a lot of people telling me like if you dig the movie, you love the book. So I got the audiobook. I'm working on that. No, I don't write, but everything Fear he writes. He's an author. Oh, it is. It's on Audible. All right, dude. Message me the name of the book so I can look it up. I have a bunch of free books available for me on Audible, or at least a couple. So I can definitely snag that up. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up. I need to go get something to eat, and I got to shoot some more video and edit and whatnot. But this has been a lot of fun. let me know what's a good time of day to do this, and I'll do one where I schedule it out, and so we all can gather up like this and talk shit again. So if you guys can leave and comment on this, or I'm not sure how it works. Like I said, this is my first one, so when I end it, I don't know if it's posted, but comment somewhere letting me know what times of day are good for all you guys. Based on Pacific Standard Time. Remember, that's where I'm at. So Pacific Standard Time. So just post up something like it's 5 o'clock my time right now. So let me know what days of the week, what times of the day are cool. Josh Phillips. Which Josh is that? Is that Josh? Oh, shit. A bunch of you guys just came on. Rick Joslin. Oh, no. The other ones you've already been on. But yeah. Little Josh, what is up, motherfucker? That dude used to play bass in my band years ago. He's got a great little family. You're in Texas, right, Josh? $50 Shades of Grey. Why are you talking about 50 Shades of Grey, Wendy? Oh, cool, Rick. You were listening? Yeah, I mean, we can do these. Not everybody has to always talk, You could also, you guys can always post questions for me. Like, we can do a Q&A where I just do a video where I just answer a bunch of your questions too. So just kind of going to play with this and try different things out and have fun with it, now that I am able to do this. I like that, Sean. That is funny. All right, but I got to go. Seriously, thank you so much, guys. Say it with me. Horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time. Make sure to check in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'm posting my top 10 of 2020. So make sure you guys check that out. And every time you guys share my stuff on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, like, it really does make a huge impact. So keep doing that, guys. Thank you so much, guys. And remember, you can check out Patreon. A bunch of you started signing up, and I love it. And we can do this kind of stuff on there too more. And you can only, you can do it for like $1. Like, I don't care if you guys are doing $5 or $10 ones. Just mostly, I like having a place where we do this, but unfortunately, there is an entry fee. It's got to be at least $1. So anyway, thank you so much, guys.